What's up, everybody? Thank you again for tuning in to Hbtv. I'm your host, Harry Bugirin. Got a great episode today again. I'm sitting with my man, Philly Phil 90745 if you're following him on IG. Philip Uranza, hip-hop artist, content developer, just a good guy, a great brother of mine, and I can't wait to have him on the show all the way from Chicago. So tune in, and as usual, we're going to get into some of the artist's music. I got some of his music, going to play that for you guys, so just tune in for that. And also, if this is your first time tuning into the show, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to be with us, to be with me. Again, this channel is all about trying to inspire, influence, educate, and empower. So again, I bring on guests who are doing positive things, great things in the community, not just in the South Bay, not just in the LA area, but in the world community. So if you tuned in to some of the episodes that I had people from the Philippines, gonna have more people from the Philippines as well, and got some locals and some people across the nation. So I'm down to talk to anybody doing their positive thing, who just want to broadcast that positive vibe and get that out to you, the viewers. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and play some music of Locell, Philly Phil. I'm going to play some music, get him on the Zoom, and then we're going to go ahead and chat away about the journey of what has gone throughout these years. All right, so stay tuned. Thank you for sticking with us.
I was born in the ghettos, Manila Meadows. I had no pops from the get-go. I guess I am a ghetto bastard. I blasted across the Pacific, America, to be specific. Carson, Cali, Cabbage to the A block. Hoping to be a colt or a pilot while it stayed hot. And even though we prayed hard, yo, my mom still worked that motherfucking graveyard shift. Shit, I stayed out late. I grew up in the hood, a menace too, like MC8. Nanas tried to keep me straight, be out till 11, but I grew up with 211. Coco and 24/7, Chana, JB, Snipe, and the rest of the crew. So what you wanna do, players? It's all on you. We had dreams of owning this whole hip-hop nation. Bad dreams of videos, heavy rotation on every station, and we was banging while we was trying to get on wax. Went from now laters to fireworks, chronic sacks to yeah. I learned hustling from moms, applied it to hood haggles. It's all about the gap or how you like them apples. Throw your hands in the sky if you trying to survive. In that 90745, throw your blunts in the sky for your niggas that died. In that 90745, throw your sets in the sky if you trying to survive. In that 90745, throw your guns in the sky for your niggas that died. In that 90745. Good. Looking out to the homies that have our backs.
This is an 80 beats beat. But in the hood, we call him Noodles. Noodles, let's go.
What a shame what we did to the game. What a shame that it won't be the same. What a shame how we tarnished the name. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. What a shame what we done for the fame. What a shame how lame we became. What a shame we only got us to blame. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. What have I done? Can I really complain? Did I do anything to help the game? Am I spitting that same old same? Recycling samples that been used 100 ways? Do I really have to dumb it down? Now can't y'all see what's going down? This mindless banter is what they're after. There's no art, fuck you, pay me faster. Greedy bastards, you know that 1%. There's a lot of profit in keeping us ignorant. And even with bitches, drugs, and gangster stories, NWA still had some social commentary to keep us from a place where we complacent and have the whole world start a conversation about the state of the hood and the state of the nations. Those that drop real hip-hop, I gotta thank them.
What a shame what we did to the game. What a shame that it won't be the same. What a shame how we tarnished the name. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. What a shame what we done for the fame. What a shame how lame we became. What a shame we only got us to blame. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame.
Back in the day, television used to tell us lies, but now that the revolution won't be televised, they got new ways to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. The cell phone is the new idiot box device. Thinking material things are worth more than lives. That's why shorties in the streets pack guns and knives, and little girls think it's cool to be ratchet. And the government wants us to bury the hatchet and turn our weapons in like the Indians, and just let them do us in the end. Too many robots and zombies walking dead won't question a damn thing that they said. Yes, master, no master, as long as you pay me, you can be whatever you like to my babies. One day I hope we change our mind frame and fight back, but till then,
What a shame what we did to the game. What a shame that it won't be the same. What a shame how we tarnished the name. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. What a shame what we done for the fame. What a shame how lame we became. What a shame we only got us to blame. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame.
Sometimes I bring the pain, sometimes I wonder, what if I went mainstream and didn't stay underground and sold out instead of hold out? Would I be turned out and burnt out like a go-round? Or would I be happy like the life that I know now? Wife and kids, family man, that's the low now. All that gold now ain't worth my son and girl now. I probably owe more now like the US owe the world now. Deficit like my nigga Raz say. A record deal ain't nothing but along with a fucked up interest rate. Niggas hate and say I'm a has-been, but I see these young cats and I know I influence them, and that's more than enough reward for me. Record sales, money and fame just wasn't for me. That's all God's will, that's all I will ever see, cause all the riches in the world ain't worth my legacy.
What a shame what we did to the game. What a shame that it won't be the same. What a shame how we tarnished the name. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. What a shame what we done for the fame. What a shame how lame we became. What a shame we only got us to blame. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. Don't holla at me, player. I ain't your boy, I put that work in and still unemployed. Don't got much skrill, got a whole lot of skills, but still ain't got enough to pay these motherfucking bills. All that ice you wear, it ain't shit to me. All that nice little gear, it ain't shit to me. Sit back, let me tell you what's hip to me. My music in these streets, that's a hit to me. I'm the future of this game like James and Anthony. About to show you what a real ghetto anthem be. I make all y'all retire instantly, so throw on your throwback, cause your history is that whoop 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 they woo. That dope that have you sitting in your pension coop, and only your mama get you out, so don't front on it. You want that hot shit, you better just jump on it.
Jump on it, cause we got what you need. Jump on it, we got love for these streets. Jump on it, don't let life pass you by. Jump on it, you might not get another try.
Okay, you got yourself a woman, now you know she good. She make a beautiful wife, yeah, you know she could. Not like those other types you used to date in the hood. Drop you in a hot minute if the money was good. A soulmate, you caught you a soldier. She stayed down when they canned you up like Folgers. Not like those other baby mamas left you out in the cold. She was there in court, slid your chips when you was work, but you took it for granted. All up in the club, pulling one night stands when she pretty Jewed up. Before her, a bitch wouldn't look at you twice, but she got you groomed up, got you dressing nice. Well, play on, player, it's your life. Just remember, hard woman is good to find, especially when that time is getting shorter. You better keep that one that stays in your corner and jump
on it, cause we got what you need. Jump on it, we got love for these streets. Jump on it, don't let life pass you by. Jump on it, you might not get another try.
Jump on it.
Hey, tell that nigga to bring that shit over here, man.
Charge it, nigga. Charge it.
Boo! Tell that nigga bring that shit downstairs, man. And bring a pencil too, nigga. Let's slap these motherfucking bones, nigga, straight up. Hurry up, nigga. That's stainless shit, ain't it?
Wake your punk ass up. Where my niggas at, man? Hey, where my Cali niggas at, man? I need y'all niggas to stand up, nigga. Nigga, the West is taking over, nigga, straight up. Hey, I ain't never gonna let no nigga shoot me up, cause I stay with my motherfucking pistol, nigga, believe that. Stainless, nigga, what's
Can't let
that?
these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. Keep that pistol on me any day. Every day. Can't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. I keep that pistol on me every day. Every day. Won't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. I keep that pistol on me every day. Every day. I can't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. Keep that pistol on me every day. In LA. In LA. Born and raised in Killer Cali. Drive-bys, we trigger happy. Flamed up on my block. One time, fuck cops. All I know is get moolah. Don't run up on me, I shoot ya. Got an all-prone 38, nigga, better wait, put a whole right motherfucker through ya. Well, it's on the crackin', nigga, that's for sure. Pack a post and I'm late for coke. Pound and dro, we getting medicated. Stainless with me, he hella faded. Chewing backle, running tackle. 40 on me, no time to tassel. 40 on me, no time to tassel.
40 on me, no time to tassel.
It's like that every day. Where the fuck we stay? Killers come and play. Where the fuck we lay? Bullets ricochet. Where the kids play? Nigga, what you say? Only in LA. Wait up, hold up, nigga. Better get his fucking mind right. Hold it cracking when I see him. Nigga talking on sight. I'ma let the trigger spray. Someone gon' die tonight. Someone gon' die tonight. Mama gon' cry tonight. Shoot me up. Shoot me up. Keep that pistol on me any day. Every day. Can't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. I keep that pistol on me every day. Every day. Won't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. I keep that pistol on me every day. Every day. I can't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. Keep that pistol on me every day. In LA. In LA.
Yeah, I'm on it, lock and loaded. Glocks with full clips to stop that bullshit. But I got something for you that's more important. I got something for you to drop your opponent. Sitting on your shoulders, your brain's a holster. Use your mind right, never you won't get toasted. But don't get it twisted, my squad say eat it. Run up, get your ass deleted. Triceps, biceps, niggas got guns. Chip got choppers like hard dips, son. You better pray, son. It's over take, son. Stay zone one like my nigga Blaze one. On Pro 38, blacked out 9. For any motherfucker speaking about mine, that's self-defense, so I'm innocent. For my best defense against the first defense, my motherfucking mind. I take them out like garbage when I'm packing all in it. Why more in jail than there is in college? Keep your aim right, but keep your brain tight. You can do more damage when you ain't stay by. The system ain't right, they won't think twice. Just take your damn life in plain sight. This ain't no movie, boy. This a real McCoy. These motherfuckers frustrated and unemployed. You don't move me, boy. You don't know what's up. You packing a gun, but can't uppercut. You ain't got no hands, you can't do me up. Like a jealous bitch who blew me up. Told my nigga term, come shoot me up. You the only one that wanna shoot me up.
Shoot me up. Shoot me up. Keep that pistol on me any day. Every day. Can't let these niggas shoot me up. Shoot me up. I keep that pistol on me every day. Every day. Won't let these niggas shoot me up.
All right, so that's some music from Locell. Thank you for tuning in with us. I got Locell, Philly Phil, my man, on the Zoom. Hip hop artist, based out there in Chicago, but originally from the 90745 here in Carson, California. So without further ado, let me bring my brother in, Mr. Phil Uranza. What's up, man? Can you hear me okay? You good?
I can hear you, yeah.
All right. So, I don't know about you, Phil, but it's like 1,000 degrees up here in my house. So I hope you're keeping cool like everybody else out there.
It's
But,
hot out here too, man.
But anyways, man, hey, thank you for taking the time. Blessings for you to be on here. Been wanting to have you on the show just to talk a little bit about the journey, about your journey being an artist and hip hop artist, where you came from, and then like your evolution to coming about now. A lot of people know us, who's probably watching, and probably a lot of people don't know us who are going to start tuning in. But I first met Phil probably, man, in I'm gonna say like 1990-ish. I mean, we went to school together, junior high and elementary, but really hanging out and kicking back. I remember the time when I met him, that first time, I'm gonna say it was either at Robinel's house. Shout out to Robinel Crisostomo. Robinel's house or Mike Alfaris's. But anyways, you were chilling, you were playing some music on a tape deck, all right? And that was the first time I heard any type of music from you. And so you were telling me you were getting into rapping and hip hop, and that was the first time I ever chilled and saw you. But so take us back to that time. Correct me if the dates are wrong, but I think that was about like 89, 90. What was that? You know, what was that track? What was that album? And who was you with? Who was you with at that time? As far as like what group?
Man, to tell you the truth, man, you have a better memory than me. So I'm gonna have to refer back to you with a lot of like that story you told right now about us meeting and the tape deck and all that. I don't remember that, but so I'm gonna refer to you with a lot of it. But,
no worries.
You know, but yeah. Go ahead.
No. So going back, like what group were you with, and who are you like who was producing that music back then when you very first started?
Back then it was just we were doing it for fun, you know what I mean? It was like first I started, you know, doing little pause mixtapes like everybody did, you know, recording off K-Day, recording UTFO, catching a big break back and forth. Evolved to, you know, all the Filipinos, man, we all have karaoke machines, and my mom had one. She loved to sing, so she had the little 2 tape decks plugged in a microphone. You could record, put your instrumental on that. That's what I did to make those tapes back then. And eventually, you know, the homies started joining in. We started, you know, making little tapes for the homies back and forth. Called it Brown Syndicate. You know, we took it from Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate.
Nice.
And that's pretty much how we started all that back then. Nice.
And so that was the first time I started hearing more of the music. Yes, Brown Syndicate. But tell me what happened after that. I think it was like 91-ish or so. You know, you were chilling on the A more, and you got with War. So tell us about that meeting and how that all came together as well.
So, you know, you're hanging around with different people, and I was hanging with my boy Augie, and, you know, I was like, man, I got these tapes, check them out. He's like, that's nice, dude. I rap too. You know, let's. You know, back then it was like hip hop. We just love hip hop. We all love flowing and music, so we just got together and was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get a group. And then he had his cousin Brian, rest in peace, Bree. And you know, we started doing stuff. Started recording. Was like writing the instrumentals, just rapping over instrumentals. And I think you can tell them the story of how we evolved from there, how you got into that group.
Yeah, for sure. You know, my brother, rest in peace, Cody Brandon. I believe he was enlisted to do one track with you guys in the studio. And, you know, I heard it, and, you know, he invited me over to the house on the block, and we started going from there, man. And it was, like you said, we had 2 turntables, a mixer, a dual tape deck. And I remember, you know, for myself doing one track, I had doubles of 2 records, and in one take I had to go back and forth and juggle that track on time so you guys can actually rap over it. And that was just the sample on the beat, no beat machine or whatever. And that was one of our demos from there. But yeah, that was a great time. So for myself, for you, when did you, like, was it during that time did you figure out like, hey man, I want to try to make it into the music industry. I want to try to be a hip hop artist. Like, when did that start going? And yeah, let's just talk about that a little bit right there.
Yeah, about that time we started. You know, when we first started, like I said, it was just for the love of it, for hip hop. You never really looked into. I mean, it was always there because you saw that people got famous and made money off of it, and eventually, you know, that was what you aspired to be. But we started doing shows. You know, doing shows all over LA. We had a little manager started working with us, so that's when it started to click. Like, hey, we can really get into the business of this thing. And that's when we learned the hard part of the business is tough, man.
So tell me about some of the challenges now where you had to go through, what we had to go through, and a little bit beyond that. After you've got a little nuggets here, like, hey, we can do it this way, that way, maybe hit a roadblock, and then what happened after that?
Right. Well, like, the game is so different now, but back then it was like, we were offered, like, you would know because you were in the. It's weird me telling these stories because I'm like telling you. Yeah, but I'm trying to remind myself. We're telling everybody. Yeah. But so you end up getting offered deals or getting offered these little shows and contracts, and the business is tough, man. You end up people trying to separate you, people trying to put their thoughts on what the group should be. It's so many. You get pulled so many different ways, especially when you're in a group of like how many was it? 4 of us, and then you still got to deal with the different personalities that we have within a group ourselves. People start thinking, "Oh man, forget you guys. We don't want to do it this way. I'm gonna go solo. This and that." It's like, and we're watching Ice Cube and all NWA. Ice Cube's going solo, so we're like, we getting ideas. But yeah, man.
No,
game is tough, man.
Yeah, the game is tough. I totally feel you, and I walk some of those footsteps with you, honestly. So, and probably a lot of the guys and girls here watching this show, they probably went through similar experiences. But yeah, the game, I wasn't in it too long, but talk about after that, like whoop-de-whoop, right? After war. Well, actually, let's rewind a little bit. I'm sorry. We went from war, right? What happened after that?
Well, like I said, you start distancing. People start going different ways, and then that's, I think, when our homie passed away, Coco passed away. So me and you started working a little more, on our own stuff, our own music. And when Cody passed away, I think me and you was like, let's do a dedication track for Cody. And that's when Brandon, Mystic, his name is Mystic, and the homie Tom. They were always, we all just kicking it, doing hip hop because, making beats, rapping, whatever. We're like, all right, we all got, 4 of us all got on the track, and we ended up forming the group No Dose. So get into that. I mean, you can explain a little more of that. I'll put that on you.
Nah.
What No Dose was.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, I think that was a time when, we were pretty heavy into doing stuff, and going back, who produced that track, Aphrodisiac, great producer. He did a couple tracks for us. He's in the Good Life project and all that with Freestyle Fellowship and all those guys. Go look them up. But that was that time with us, and honestly, that was great. That was great for me. But at a certain point, I myself kind of fell off of the scene, getting into it, fell out of love with hip hop. Honestly, as you said, people go to separate ways. We did. You guys still continued. Now you transition into Whoop De Whoop. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right, like you said, we distance. Life happens. Everybody has to do different things to survive. So we all separated. We still get together every now and then, making stuff, making beats. I started working with the homie Don Selecta Fada. Ran into him at one of the Unity clubs back in the day. Unity was like a big hip hop underground where everybody would go to for concerts and stuff in downtown LA. And I was like, "Hey Don, you still doing music?" Because I knew he was a DJ. He's like, "Yeah, man, I do beats." He works with people. So eventually, I started going to his house. We started, laying down tracks, just for the love of it. And homie Tom, I think he moved out to Texas, was working, so I would fly him tapes of what we were making, and he was like, "Man, that's some good stuff right there." I try not to cuss, but that's some good stuff. But he was like, "Man, we should put that out." I'm like, "Really? Well, how are we gonna put that out?" He's like, "You know what? Let's do a record label." So one night he came back home, we're sitting around. He was like, "Man, we got to get a name for this." I'm like, I can't think of nothing. He's like, "We got to get a name for this Whoop-de-Whoop company, Whoop-de-Whoop Recording." I was like, "That's it right there." He's like, "What?" "Yeah, Whoop-de-Whoop." So that's how that came along. And eventually we've recorded since 97, 98. We've recorded so much stuff, which will segue into where we're coming into Future Unlimited.
Sure.
So that, when we had all these groups and all kinds of friends, it was a great journey. It's all about the journey, man.
It's all about the
You know
journey.
what I mean?
It's all about the journey.
We
Again,
get
you're
to-
watching.
We might not get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's all about the journey. You're watching HBTV with your host Harry Bugirin and my man Locell Philip Uranza. So going back to Don Selective Phase, shout out to him. Actually, when we were kids, when we were younger, he was actually, in my mind, from what I can remember, the very first DJ group or have a group to have a 12-inch cut. I remember he had a 12-inch single. He was showing us. I was like, man, that's really cool. So shout out to him. Actually, Selective Faye will come on an episode later on this month, along with some other great guests as well. So going back to Whoop de Whoop and all that. Again, I mean, I'm thinking about it now. You was in this during the 90s,
Yeah.
the 2000s, and the
Yeah,
2010s.
been doing it for a while, man.
Right, you've been in.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been in it for a while. So
Right.
you've seen the different angles of it. Again, with your journey, and so, like, did you feel like, you did everything you can to get that, or do you think there's still more, just in a different way, a different avenue, with what you need to do?
There's always more, man. It's like the hip hop is in you. You can't stop. Like you can
Right.
try to stop, but that music and the love for it's always going to drag you back in. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I put it this way. I say this in my songs too. It's like it just wasn't meant for me to blow up big, or just for the love of it, just getting it out to people that enjoy the stuff I put out is basically what it's about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
God might have not have had it intended for me to blow up. I could have been an asshole about it,
Right.
and mess my whole life up. I might not be here because of that, because the money and fame could really, mess you up. So I might have been guided in a different way, and I can be thankful and believe I'm blessed for that, even though, I'm still just an everyday Joe.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel the same way. As far as what you said, you know what? I wanted to be one. I wanted to be a dope hip hop DJ and artist, but maybe it wasn't meant. But it's all good because I still love the music. I get to talk to people like you, get to meet other artists and producers just like you. You know what I mean? So, and hopefully I can bring them on the show as well. So let's talk a little bit about projects that you just put out. You just put out a Whoop De Whoop compilation, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. What's it all about? What type? Not what type, but what artists are there, and where can the people find this music?
So this compilation is all the music we've recorded. The homie Tom put up a studio in his house, had it built in the house, and we'd have people come over, friends, sometimes people that became friends, and this is over 20 years of recording music that, it might be old, some of it early 2000s, but a lot of people haven't heard it yet. And when I've recently listened to it, I'm like, man, this is completely different from what's out there now. It's like a breath of fresh air. Like, I get tired of the same stuff that you hear on the radio or streaming, So, we have on there, we have like Last Word Click, which is the homie Blaze One,
Okay.
from Atlanta, and his peoples. I don't know if they're still together, but Blaze One I still work with. He's probably one of the few that I have on my solo albums. We have Za, OP. Za's a lady that sings and flows. OP, Optimus Prime, you know him. Eric Roberson, Scum. I don't think he likes to go by that name no more. Scum the Moneybags Bum, but that's what he used to go by back then.
Yeah.
So that's what I put it out as. We got Brownsville, of course, probably one of the biggest groups. We record a lot with them because
Awesome.
the Usos are that's their love, man, and they get much love from everybody. I see them as like the outcast of our group. Like they can sing and put out that real stuff. Like a lot of the groups that we have on this compilation, you can compare them to different people. Like say Za is kind of like a Lauryn Hill-ish kind of. Then you have Scum. Scum is like this pimp from the Bay Area, but he's from Carson, but he sounds like he's from the Bay. Pimp girls kind of stuff, but entrepreneur kind of thing. What else we got on there? We got a lot of my homegirl Lady Dang, who was out back in the day, had her own thing, and now she's basically getting back into music, doing her music thing. So check her out, Lady Dang.
Okay.
Who else we got on there? Got one dude. I'm gonna tell you a story. We got this one dude, Nature. He was he does the Rasta song on the album, and he does a couple Rasta hooks. He came over one day, was selling magazines. Tom was like, "Hey man, come inside, chill out, smoke a blunt with us." He came in, man. He's like, "Oh, you guys record?" Tom's like, "Yeah, Phil, put a beat on." I'll put a beat on. The song's like done like that. He did that whole song in one take. If you guys check it out, it's on the compilation.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, let me stop rambling. That's what's on the compilation right there. It's put out by Future Unlimited. We still whoop-de-whoop. I just wanted to go a different level because Future Unlimited is kind of like I'm trying to do all kinds of medias where we just do music, videos, editing. You see the shirt. We're looking out to Harry for putting the logo together. But yeah, so that's what Future Unlimited. We put it out under that umbrella. So,
man, that's awesome. And so where can people actually find the music? Like what platforms? Where can they download it and things like that?
Oh man, it's on everything. Apple Music, Spotify. Check out YouTube. Just search Whoop De Whoop or Whoop De Whoop compilation. You can search all the artists, but you'll find it on anything. As long as you search Whoop De Whoop, it'll come right up.
Okay, cool. Any other artists or producers you collaborated with or are looking to collaborate with?
Yeah, man, I don't really mess with a lot of people. I like to keep my stuff tight knit. Like I work with myself. I make my own beats. I work with Juby. I got a beat of yours on mine. Homeboy DJ, Derek, DJ Dez. Who else we got on there? My homeboy 80 Beats. Call him Noodles back in the hood. Mm-hmm. Just work with him. I keep it tight knit, man. Like I said, Blaze One's probably one of the few that I let on my album. I don't really like try to mess with I try to keep so that my style sounds the same. The sound sounds all the same still. No,
I hear you. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, the only reason why I asked that because if I do come across people who do want to work and want to collab, I'll hit you up. I'll let you know if you're down with it and probably do something, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, you're watching Hbtv, the show with me, Harry Bugarin, and our special guest, Phil Uranza, all the way from Chicago. Tell me, has the Chicago hip hop culture kind of influenced you a little bit with stuff that's going now with your projects?
I'm sure it has. Of course it has. You live out here. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I start to get a little of the accent, a little of the slang that they say. That's definitely for sure. I use a lot of the Chicago slang, style of music.
And so, like, are they still like on that common stuff, or is it like totally changed from what I've heard back in the days?
No, they're all like all the new stuff now, man. Common's pretty much hardly bumped out here anymore, man.
Is that right? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's different, man.
Yeah, I love to hear more of that Chicago stuff. Make sure you throw me some links of some artists, some local artists and whatever, and I can put them up on the description of this video as well. One question I do ask some of my guests, right? So, let's say you do confront a young Philip Uranza, young Locell, trying to get into the game, trying to do things like, what would you tell that young Phil today if you saw him?
Oh man, you had to go to the barber with all those questions on me. What kind of tree would you be if you were a tree? Man, what did I tell myself, dude?
Yeah,
you didn't give me enough time to think about that.
Oh man, you go off the head all the time.
Yeah. No, I would tell myself, man, don't stop, dude. Keep going. Life's gonna get tough. You know what I mean? You're gonna want to quit making music. You might not get all the followers, all the fans, but keep doing it. Keep doing it.
No, I dig it, man. I dig it. So,
keep rolling.
Again, Philip Uranza, thank you very much for joining us tonight on the episode. I wish you much love and success with all that you do, especially with Future Unlimited Media. Thank you to everybody.
Tell them why.
What's up?
Let me tell them why it's Future Unlimited.
Go for it, man.
For the people
Go
that
for it.
don't know, I know a lot of Carson people, y'all know already, but for people watching out here in Chicago and all over the world, Future Unlimited is a slogan for Carson, Carson City, where we're from, and I don't know. There's so much love we have for our city for some reason. I think it's just like people that expand and go out. It's always the love comes back from Carson for some reason. Just like that when you had a FIL-TV, when they're trying to put that movie together with you know, one city where if all the football players played in one team instead of just going out. Imagine that. But I think it's just the diversity. We had a unique upbringing from Carson because we had such a diverse city. You know, so I think that's where the love is from, man. So that's why I call it Future Unlimited, because I got so much love for Carson. I always use 90745 and all that mess. So
absolutely,
I had to put that out there.
Hey, absolutely, man. Again, Future Unlimited Media. Thank you to all of you who supported so far and bought some shirts. We do appreciate that. And again, if you guys want and are down to rock one of them, just hit me up on Instagram or hit Phil at PhillyPhil90745 or at Future Unlimited Media. Before we break out, anything else you wanna say to the viewers and to the fans out there?
No, man. Like you said, hit up Future Unlimited Media. I'm gonna be doing more services for music production, voiceovers. I do a lot of video editing now, so y'all got some work for me. Hit your boy up.
Yes, please do. And also, man, you know, I don't want to put you on the spot, man, but what's up, man? Can you reach out to Brownsville and see if they would get on the show with me, talk a little bit about their stuff? Okay.
You know, I try to get Bishop Lamont.
Oh man,
whenever
he's ready, I'll reach out to him after his new album drops. So hopefully we can get him on. It'll be great to talk to him as well. But all right, Phil, man, thank you. You guys be safe. Love to the family, and thanks again. See you later, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Peace.
All right, everybody, that was Phil Uranza. Thank you again for tuning in with us and watching this episode. Phil's a great person. Love him to death, man, ever since I met him. So it was a pleasure. It was an honor to have him on here just to rap with us and talk with us. So if you need to hit him up or you want to, go ahead. I'll put the description and his IG accounts in the description of the video, so check it out after I post it. And next week, another must-watch episode on Hbtv, the show. We have Coach Masaki Matsumoto. All right, he used to coach in San Diego at Cathedral High School. For all you San Diego viewers out there, he coached football there. He came up to LA, coached at Helen Bernstein in Hollywood. Did some great things there, was even featured on E60 on ESPN, and now he moved back to the Seattle area and is the head coach at Lincoln High School for their football team. So he's going to join us next week. And we got a couple other guests for this month and a student athlete episode. So we got a couple of student athletes who have committed, and thank you. Can't wait to join the episode with them. They're going to talk about being a student athlete, what it is, what it all encompasses, and all that good stuff. So please tune in the next time. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit that little bell for any alerts when we go live here, and please share. I'm trying to get this whole big community, this world community. I want this to be our channel, your channel. Let me know if you know anybody that would be a great guest on the show that I can talk to and highlight and get their information out there as well. So you guys be safe. Again, have a good night, and thank you for joining me. God bless.